I'm Wendy, and yeah, today I'm going to talk a lot about fear and how I've overcome fear through scribbling. It sounds like such a huge thing to say, I guess, but really it's incredible what happens when you start doing something and fail at it and realize that everything still goes on. So today I'm actually going to set my timer for 7 minutes. So it's not very much time. 7 minutes. Is that 7? Yep. Okay. And yeah, and I've just got these random scrap pieces of paper that I want to use up. So I thought I'll just make lines all over them and talk a little bit about fear. If you have any questions or comments, definitely put them in the chat, and I will look over every once in a while and see what's there. But what I have found with the fear is, I mean, if you're practicing every day dealing with creating something that you don't like, or that you think is ugly, or that isn't what you wanted it to be, like you had an idea of what you wanted it to be and it doesn't come out the way you wanted it to, you're practicing overcoming these fears and building resilience on the page that then transfers into your life. And I don't know, for me it just feels so magical how this happens. And also, like, just makes so much sense scientifically in the way that the brain works. Like, even right now, I'm feeling really frustrated with how little space there is to move in these little strips. And yeah, and I'm still continuing on. So then I'm going to see what else I can do in these little strips and just make something. And I have to say, before I started scribbling, I mean, I've been scribbling for probably a decade, just under a decade, on a pretty regular basis. And I've created a lot of really crappy art that I have just loved making. And I never would have a decade ago ever put this kind of thing out there in the open. I wasn't even feeling comfortable making it myself. And so talk about overcoming fears, the fear of judgment, let's say. That's definitely something that I have noticed in my life after practicing this regularly. And what I love about it is that it's like there's really not much kickback if you're scribbling on a page. There's not really much that can go wrong or happen to you. It's all going to be inside and processing everything that's going on inside. That yeah, so it gives you an opportunity, as I said, to practice these things and to overcome these fears. So I'm curious what fears you're dealing with right now. One that I deal with a lot, and I think I will probably work through for the rest of my life, is a fear of being not enough. Like, what I have to offer isn't enough for people. And so with this practice, I find that I dive deeper and deeper into this every time I practice. Every time I put some marks on a page. And you get to play with color and shape. And you're just making whatever feels good in the moment. because that's where a lot of fears lay. They lay in what feels good. We feel like we need to, or at least I feel like I need to figure out how to make everything the way I want it to be, rather than focusing moment to moment on what feels good. Like right now, these lines feel really good. Just creating long, hard lines. I've never actually done this before either, so there's another fear. The fear of the unknown. I've never taken these little strips that I have been saving for quite some time and just scribbled on them. I've done like paint swatching and that sort of thing on them before, but never just taken some crayons and made scribbles. I'm curious if you've cut up pieces of paper or if you just have your own pieces of paper as we scribble here together. If you're just using a regular sized paper. Oh, look. I've made marks on the table now. There we go. Let's see if I can get those off. I wonder if they'll smudge back onto the page. Probably not. But let's experiment. Small little bits. This is an interesting experience, doing this scribbling on such a small space, because I'm used to really sort of spreading out and making bigger movements. So the smaller movements are feeling a bit frustrating for me in a way. Okay, that's our 7 minutes. I hope you did some scribbling with me and that you'll join me again tomorrow. If you wanted to go ahead and do another 10 minutes or another few minutes of scribbling with me, you can click on this video right here. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.